Okay, we are now gonna go over how to use the geometric sequence formula. So in the previous video, we went over an arithmetic sequence. Now we're gonna go over geometric sequence. I want to point out that in the reference sheet, again, we have that formula, so we want to make sure we make use of it appropriately. So let's get right to one of our questions. So this Regents question is, what is the common ratio of the geometric sequence shown below? Let's annotate this problem where it says common ratio. That's a giveaway that we're using the geometric sequence formula, or that this is a geometric sequence. But this question was also nice and it told us that we're using a geometric sequence. All that this is asking us for is to find the common ratio. So when you're given a sequence and you're just being asked to a geometric sequence, and you're just being asked to find the common ratio, all you have to do is, starting at the last number, divide by the one before it. So 16 divided by 8 gives us 2. Okay? And then if you want to be super careful and double check your work, just divide that number, in this case 8, by the one before it. We have 8 divided by 4, that gives us 2. And 4 divided by 2 gives us 2. So now we know for sure that the common ratio is 2. Okay? Just keep in mind, sometimes it's very obvious, right? 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16. So that's an obvious common ratio, but sometimes the numbers will get bigger. So this little side work could also be helpful. Another way the Regents asks you about geometric sequence is a question like this one. What is the common ratio of the geometric sequence whose first term is 27 and fourth term is 64? So in this case, it didn't give us a sequence. They're still asking us to find the common ratio. So they said both common ratio and geometric sequence. So that means we know for sure that we are going to use the geometric sequence formula. So let me write that down. A sub n equals a sub 1 r n minus 1. Okay. And now let's summarize the information given. First term is 27. Fourth term is 64. Remember, fourth means 4. All right, so let's summarize. They gave us a sub 1, the first term is 27. They gave us that the term we're using, meaning n, is 4. And they gave us that a sub n, the value of the fourth term, is 64. Okay, so let me actually move this just a little and annotate the same way that I annotated in the other video. A sub n is the value of the term. A sub 1 is the first term. R is the common ratio. And n is the term. Okay, so just to summarize, you want to pause and take some notes on that. That's fine. All right, so now let's substitute our values. We have what a sub n is, which is 64. So we're going to we have that this is 64. We have that a sub 1, the first term is 27. So let's substitute that with 27. We don't know what r is. So we're going to leave that there. And then we have that n is 4. So we can substitute up there 4 minus 1. Okay. And now let's make this equation look a little simpler. So we're going to say 64 equals 27. Our 4 minus 1 is 3. So to the third. Okay, and now we're going to use some inverse operations to figure out what r is equal to. So we're going to start by dividing both sides by 27. Okay, that cancels. So I'm going to continue here. When we put this in the calculator, it gives us a really long decimal. So I'm actually going to just keep it as 64 divided by 27 equals r to the third. Okay. Now, we want to get the r by itself. So we have to do the cubic root because we have to get rid of this third power. And to do that, I'm going to switch screens to my calculator just because I want to show you where you find that. Okay. So, again, let me just explain why I'm doing that. We want to get rid of this third power. So I will do, that's the cubic root to get rid of that third power. And if you do that on one side, you have to do it on the other. So what this means is the cubic root of 64 over 27 is r. So I want to put this in my calculator. So for that, I'm going to switch screens to the calculator app here. And to find the cubic root, we just go to math. You scroll down. It's right here, option 4. You hit enter. And we can type 64 divided by 27. And that gives us 1.3. Now, chances are that's not going to be one of the choices in your multiple choice answer. So they're probably going to do it as a fraction. So let's just, while we're here, go over how to put any number into a fraction. So we will click on, once you have that number on the screen, you click on math. The first option is frac for fraction. Hit enter. And we have 4 over 3. So if we go back here, we now know, oh, where'd it go? We now know that r is equal to 4 over 3. Okay. Yeah, so those were the two ways in which the Regents asks you about geometric sequence most often. Go ahead and rewind anything that you need to go over, take some notes, and get some practice done.